with Danielle. This week we're going to be looking at what different liquids do to eggshells. So we're going to be looking at 4 different liquids: water, Coca-Cola, vinegar, and orange juice. So eggshells are made of 95% calcium carbonate, which is basically just like a lot of calcium, so it can be comparable kind of to your teeth. Sometimes when you have a stomach ache, you'll take a Tums, and that's also calcium carbonate. So we want to see what happens to that material when we put it in those 4 different liquids. So what you're going to need is 4 glasses. You're going to need some water, Coke, vinegar, and orange juice. It's really simple. You just need to put an egg in each of your cups and then pour enough liquid into each cup so that the egg is completely covered with it. And then you just have to wait and see what happens. Almost immediately when you put the egg into vinegar, you should see a reaction occurring, and you'll see kind of that it starts to fizz, or it'll create some bubbles around the eggshell, and this is the reaction between the calcium carbonate and the acidic nature of vinegar. So those little bubbles that are being produced are actually carbon dioxide. I waited 24 hours and then I checked on my results. So kind of what I expected, but also not what I expected. So I expected that the Coca-Cola would kind of dissolve the eggshell a little more, because it seems like it's more acidic, similar to that vinegar, where I didn't think the orange juice would dissolve the eggshells as much as it did. My results, the Coca-Cola basically stained the eggshell to a pretty dark brown color, and so I guess drinking a lot of Coca-Cola isn't good for your teeth. Also, you can see that the vinegar basically dissolved the entire eggshell and kind of just left the egg with its membrane, and it's kind of squishy. And then the water did nothing to the eggshell, which I kind of figured is what would happen. And then the orange juice dissolved the shell a little bit, but not a lot. So there's some little grooves in the eggshell that I can tell are where it dissolved it. So you can either stop your experiment now, like I did, or you can put it back in the liquids and see what happens if you put it in for another 12 hours or 24 hours, and see if the longer it sits in there, the more that will happen. So but I do want you to test a different experiment with your egg from the vinegar. So normally when you drop an egg, it cracks and breaks. But that's because the eggshell is penetrating that membrane that you can see on the vinegar. So what happens when you drop that egg? Maybe try testing how high up you can test it. You can drop it from without it breaking. In order to that, make sure that you lay down some paper towels or do it in a place that can be easily cleaned up, because if it does break, it will be messy. Let me know if you have any other ideas about science videos in the Google Classroom, or you can email me. Yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye!